there, welcome to my channel. My name is Linda. I've got a lot of fun DIYs for you today. I also have a few friends joining me, so hopefully this brings you a ton of inspiration. I will share that with you just a little bit later. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Today we'll be working on Rustic Farmhouse Spring Crafts, so let's get started with project number 1. For today's project, I'm using this wood welcome board from Walmart. It's like $1.47 or something like that. 2 of these chunky slat boards from Dollar Tree, and I'll have the 10-inch size and the 8-inch size for you. From craftingwithkimber.com, I'll be using a lot of her product today. I'll have the links in the description box for you. This is a chunky carrot set, a wonky chunky carrot set. Comes with 3 sizes of carrots. The main carrots are 1/2-inch wood so they can stand up, and then the little greenery on top is made out of 8-inch wood. You'll get a 4.5-inch, 5.5-inch, and a 6-inch tall carrot. You'll get a cute wood tag with it. You'll also get some of these wonky cute hearts. These are chunky flowers. You'll actually get 3 of those. They're made to stand up as well, just like the carrots, and you'll get little flower centers for them. And then you'll get 4 additional flowers as well. These flowers, the hearts and the tag, are all made out of 1/8-inch wood. Of course, they'll have the little centers to them. It's such a cute set. Again, the links to all our product I'll be using today will be in my description box. I only used the 5.5-inch carrot though today because I want to save the rest for other projects. So I've off camera went ahead and pre-cut my paper to fit my wood slats front and back. I traced them and cut them about 1/4 inch short all the way around. I'm going to use this green and orange paper for my carrots. So I'm going to go ahead and trace the carrot top onto the green paper, and then of course the carrot bottom onto the orange paper. And then I'm going to come around in, because I always have new subscribers, so I know all of you have been with me a while. You have to hear this over and over and over again. But I come in about 1/8 of an inch in, sometimes 1/4 inch, and I redraw a new pattern perimeter following the old pattern. And then that's what I cut out, because when I cut out my papers, I like my wood to show around the perimeter. I just think that adds great texture to the element. So here I am cutting out the new pattern, that little bit ways in. I just like it. It just adds something. Like I said, it just adds a lot of texture to it. You don't have to do it. You could paint your carrots completely. If you want to use paper, you can cover them end to end, however you like it. This is what it looks like with the little wood showing around my papers. Paint today, Dixie Belle in color drop cloth, Dixie Belle in terracotta, mud paint in sage, mud paint in blush, all chalk paints. Pretty much be using this throughout all my projects today. So I'll just show kind of a little bit of painting here and there and do a lot of it off camera. You all know how to paint, but of course painting my bottom carrots in the terracotta. Now I'm also painting some smaller wonky carrots, as you see here, that do not come in the set. I'll explain that in the next project for you. All right, now I'm coming in with some of the green and painting all my carrot tops. And yes, the little smaller carrots, of course, come with craftingwithkimber.com. And then I'm going to be coming in and painting the slats with the drop cloth paint. I love this drop cloth paint because it's a nice creamy color without any kind of yellow tint to it. I tend to go toward this, or I go with Debbie's Design Diary DIY White Swan Chalk paint because it's not white, it's just a little bit softer white. So those are the kind of main colors I do. So here I am sewing around my papers. I love to sew on my papers. I know those who've been with me a long time, you've heard this spiel so many times, you could say it with me in your sleep. But you know, we get new people all the time tuning in. But I sew on my papers just like I'm sewing on fabric. If you look at the knobs on my sewing machine, the far right, you can see my tension set on 4. I just have an El Cheapy Brothers sewing machine. Right up above where I'm sewing, there's a little knob there. That's my tension. That's set on 4. Okay, I use a size 10 or 11 needle depending on manufacturer. Now, if you try this, if you're a sewer and you find that those holes are too big, go down to a size 9. It's just playing with it a little bit. If you're not a sewer but you want those stitch lines in a really fine point Sharpie marker and you draw the little stitch lines, it looks perfectly cute. All right, here's what my sewing looks like. And as you can see, I'm coming in and I'm using the open end of my scissor blades and I'm scraping along the edges of my papers. If you're not a sewer and you want that texture, this adds wonderful, easy texture. Anybody can do it. You can scrape heavy, you can scrape light, it doesn't matter. It just allows this paper to kind of pop up off of the wood a little bit. So that's what I like. So here I'm showing you off camera. I went ahead and just kind of sanded and distressed all my pieces here a little bit. I know those are the cute carrots. We're going to talk about them in a little bit. I'm covering the orange part start up with paper because I don't want the splatter on those. Okay, and what I did is watered down a drop cloth paint and used my fan brush and splatter. And then I'm coming in with the stylus tool. It has little, round balls on each end. You can get this at Dollar Tree. Taking that terracotta paint and I'm just adding little dots on them, as you can see here. Okay, just adding some more design element. I'm going to come in with my Beacon Fabri-Tac glue today, which is what I use for all my projects. We're going to glue the paper onto our wood pieces. You can see I splattered the bottom of the paper on the carrot, both papers. Here is my paper change. I decided to come in with a script paper I like best, and I'm using that drop cloth paint again. What I do is I dip my fan brush in it, I wipe off the excess, and then I tap my fan brush to give it some nice subtle splatters. And then I'm just gluing my papers onto the front and back of my wood slats. I'm going to use this antique wax mixed with water to make it look like a stain, and I'm going to stain my welcome word here just to bring it into that rustic look to it. And I'm coming in with Distress Ink Black Soot, and I want to just darken around the edges a little bit so it ties in that black vinyl that you see down below. Okay, now talking about the black vinyl, I have created a free printable for you. I have a PDF and a PNG format. Those of you that don't have an electronic cutting machine, you can take the PDF format, you can print it onto your paper and then cut your paper to fit your projects. And I made it so the top, if you want to make it in one sign, the quotes all together. If you want to make it in two signs like I did, whether or not you have the welcome word or not, I split those apart so you can kind of do what I'm doing. The PNG file, if you have electronic cutting machine, you're going to have to clean out the background and the middles of the letters to cut your project out. I'm sorry, I work most things from my iPad and I can't seem to get the SVG to work on my iPad. So here we are, but the PNG does work. So here we are. I'm just getting my vinyl onto the bottom of my longest wood slat. That's going to go on the bottom. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that watered down drop cloth paint and splatter over the vinyl because I want that vinyl to kind of, it just looked too plain on its own. Add the splatter in. Then I'm taking the welcome word and I'm gluing it to the shorter splatter, and again, shorter splatter, shorter slat, and then I'm going to come in and splatter that wood word just to, make it match with everything else. I made a little twine bow and I'm gluing that and a button to the bottom of my greenery at the top of my carrot. And then I'm coming in with these cute little carrots to the side, right side of that carrot patch. I'm going to make a little carrot bundle here. Super cute. And then I'm going to glue my shorter wood slat, of course, to the top of my longer wood slat. And then I'm going to figure out where my chunky carrot is going to touch my shorter wood slat. I'm going to glue that down, and that makes this project complete. Let's see who's going to be joining me for some fun spring DIY inspiration today. Today I have Emily, who is Farm Charm Chic here on YouTube, and I have Alicia, who is Alicia at Home here on YouTube. These ladies have some fun, fantastic spring DIYs coming your way. I will have the link to their main channel page in my description box, but I'll also have a link to the playlist that we've created. It'll be in my description box and pinned in my comment. So make sure that you click on that link. It'll just take you to all our videos in one convenient location. Make sure you go over to their channels, you stop by, you tell them I sent you, click that subscribe button. You're going to be glad you did. With that said, let's move on to project number 2. For this project, I'm going to be using this house-shaped wood piece from Dollar Tree, of course. And then I'm going to be using this as a 3-piece set, a bunny wood bunny set, and these cute little wonky bunnies. This is the Wonky Tuckem collection from craftingwithkimber.com. Each style of bunny comes 3 different sizes here, ranging from 1.5 to 2.5 inch sizes. And then here's the carrots like we used in the other project. I'm going to be using 2 of the kind of medium-sized carrots. But again, these come in 3 different sizes, 1.5 to 2.5 inch sizes. So cute. This is the free printable I'll have for you today. I did it just like I did the last one. It'll be a PDF and a PNG. If you don't have the bunny word, I made it here in one thing. You could just print it out onto your paper to, before you cut it out to fit your project. If you have the bunny word, I did it separately so that you could use each piece like I'm going to use it. Again, PDF, PNG, link will be in my description box for a free printable. So first thing I'm going to do is just sand off that tip there. And I'm going to again use Dixie Belle chalk paint and color drop cloth, terracotta, that sage mud paint, apricot, and Dixie Belle paint today. Here, there I am. I've got my, top kind of sanded off. I wanted it to look more like a tag than a house. And I'm just going to drill a little hole here. We're going to make this into a wood tag. I love these shapes that came out. This one, and then they came out with a taller house shape. They're actually bigger than the old wood house shapes that they used to have, so that makes it kind of nice. And so now I'm just tracing my paper onto, using my wood piece to trace my paper. Again, somewhere down the line, you're going to see a paper change. Just wasn't happy with this one, but it's the same process here. So I left this part in. As I'm cutting it out about a 1/4 inch shorter all the way around. So again, you see that wood perimeter. Okay. I'm going to use Waverly Antique Wax here at first. Sometimes I like to do this process. I'm going to go around the edges of all my wood pieces and paint it with this watered down wax here, so it's kind of like a wood stain first, and then I'll go over the top with my drop cloth paint. And I like to do that because then when I go to sand and distress it, which I do off camera, you're going to see a little bit of that staining kind of come out around the edge and kind of give it like a vintage look. So here I am kind of painting my cute wonky carrots. You guys, my word, I do that. I've done it all my life. Painting those cute little wonky carrots, and then I'm coming in with the drop cloth paint and painting over that stained look there and onto my bunnies as well. I chose one each of the 2 styles of bunnies there. And these wonky bunnies are just so adorable, like the little 1.5 inch one. Oh my gosh, it like fits on your fingertip. I just love them. You guys just need to order these products today. This whole video is craftingwithkimber.com. I can't help it. She just has the cutest designs ever. So once those are painted, I'm coming in and that apricot, and I'm kind of painting the bunny on top. And then of course I'm coming in now and sewing my papers again. And I cut papers, of course, as you saw earlier, to fit front and back of my wood tag there. I like the back of my products finished off, so I'll often either paint them or cover them with paper. I don't like them just unfinished because I sell a lot of these at craft shows and things, and I want them to look very nice and, professional and styled, very lovely. This is what it looks like all sewn, of course. And then you know what's coming next. I'm coming in with the open end of my scissor blades, and I'm scraping along the edges. This is what it looks like with and without the scraping, so you can kind of see that difference and discern if you like it for yourself. Here's my carrots and stuff. Everything is all like sanded and distressed, and I'm coming in and adding some dots with that terracotta paint. What I did on the carrots, here's my paper change, on my carrots is I mixed that terracotta paint with a little drop cloth, so it's a little bit lighter on the carrot, and then I come in with the dots of the regular terracotta in full strength, so it's kind of a tone on tone. So yes, my paper change here, I like it better. I'm adding my vinyl woods here. I figured out where my bunny needs to go in relation to where my words need to go on here. So you kind of need to figure that out, as you're placing your words on there or going to print them out onto your paper first. Just, give it a little room for your bunny word. And then I'm coming in with the splatter just like in the first project and splattering everything up. I don't know. Spring stuff just needs splatter. That's just how it goes. I'm doing a pink splatter over the bunnies because, white on white looks funny. There you can see where I tore off my paper before, and now I'm adding my new paper. And then we're going to glue our little bunny word on, again using Beacon Fabri-Tac glue today. And then I'm adding my little bunnies to both of the bunnies to the right side of the bunny word. I think that looks super cute. And then I'm going to use this macrame cord from Dollar Tree. Just a nice big long piece, however long you want it. Bringing it through, and I'm going to gather both pieces together and tie it into a knot right here. Perfect. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue on each end of that macrame twine, and that's where I'm going to add the carrot, just if they were like wood beads. Love it. And that makes this project complete. Let's move on to project number 3. For this project from craftingwithkimber.com, I'm using this cutesy carrot banner. It's a set of 5. Each carrot comes with the bottom and top pieces you see here. And she's even got the little holes in there, so for the hanging on the banner, which makes it nice. I love that they're double layered. I love it because it adds such dimension. And then I'm going to be using, this actually is a set of 12. They're little miniature hearts. All of this is craftingwithkimber.com. I'm also going to be using these Carrot Tuckems. These are the 2-inch size. They come in a set of 3. And then these cute little Wonky bunny Tuckems. These are the 1.5-inch size. They come in a set of 4. I'm going to be using both of these twines from Dollar Tree and some of this crochet thread as well. And some of these wood beads. All from Dollar Tree. Now, from Dollar Tree, if you have these, they come in like a set of 14. You can use these bunnies. But I decided to use these bunnies off of this sign because they already have the burlap on them. The holes are already in them. We're just going to replace the tails. They're perfectly ready to go. So I'm taking them off that sign, off that twine. And then next thing I'm going to do is kind of decide where I want my pieces to go. What order I want to lay my garland in. Okay? And I believe this turns out to be just about almost a 5-foot long garland. All right. And the next thing I'm doing, once I've perfected my order, I'm going to cut off the little puffy tails that are already on there. Pink's a little bit bright, and I want to do something different. So I'm going to add in one of these cute little mini hearts from craftingwithkimber.com. I think that adds a little something, something. And then my top layer carrots, I've traced them all the way around and, drew a new perimeter, and I've got my pattern piece here, just for the top layer of each carrot. And I'm using some of this duck cloth fabric you can get at Walmart, or like a drop cloth fabric, whatever you want. And I'm cutting them to fit. And then when I lay them on the carrot, you're going to see that little wood perimeter, just like we did on the other 2 projects. Okay, and so I cut one piece for all of them. And then that's going to go in with kind of the fabric on those burlap bunnies. So it's going to look really nice together. Okay. All right, so now we're going to start the painting process. This is the paint I've been using on the other projects. It's just the terracotta paint I've mixed with a little drop cloth to lighten it up. So I'm using this on all of our, cute little Carrot Tuckems. And then I'm going to use it on the top layer, because remember we have 2 layers on each of our carrots for the banner, the top layer. And that way, so you can see the difference here, the regular terracotta and then the terracotta I lightened up. So on the bottom layer, I'm using the regular terracotta. So that way I've got a light on top and dark on the bottom. It's going to give us a really great shadowing technique. All right, you can see it here together. You can see that dark behind, light on top. Perfect, and we don't hardly have to do anything to it, just with the paint difference. Now on the greenery, I'm using that sage color I've been using all along. I'm using that sage full strength on that back layer. On the front layer, I've watered it down so it almost just kind of looks like a stain. And that's going to make that top layer look lighter and the bottom layer again look darker. Here you can see the difference. Okay? And then of course I'm coming in with that blush paint and I'm painting up all my cute little wonky bunnies. I love these little bent ear wonky bunnies. I love the straight ear ones too. I love them all. I just want to sleep with them. They're so cute. I know it. I just love these. Oh gosh. Can you feel my excitement? And I'm painting up the little miniature hearts. And then I'm going to come in and just distress around everything. Now, the other project, of course, I didn't show you, but I'm showing you a little bit here. And I'm just going to distress on the big carrots, the top layer only. Not going to distress the bottom layer because that's our shadowing behind it, right? And then I'll kind of show you what that looks like when you put it together. Look at that layering difference and how that top layer just pops up off of that bottom layer. Perfect. And here I've, already sanded the other little carrots and the bunnies and all that kind of stuff. And now I'm coming in and I just want to sew around my fabric pieces. Again, you don't have to do this. Again, you could use, a Sharpie marker. Fine tip black Sharpie marker would be really cute. And it doesn't even have to be black. I know Sharpie has like a ton of colors out there. I don't know what comes in the fine tip, but if you found like a nice brown shade or something like that, could work really cute here. So this is what it looks like all sewn up. And then I'm going to terracotta paint, watered down, and I'm going to splatter each of these just to give my fabric a little something, something. And then as in like my other projects, I'm covering up the bottom and splattering the top, the greenery here, with that watered down drop cloth. You know how I feel about the splatters. It's springtime. Splattering my little bunnies and hearts here. And then on the carrots, I'm coming in with that darker drop cloth, just like we did on the other projects, and that stylus tool, and I'm adding dots to them here. And then when that dries, it looks like a tone on tone, of course, as you've seen in the other projects. And now I'm coming in on my big carrots, just the top layer, and I'm, covered the bottom up, and I'm splattering the greenery here, just to give it a little something. And then we're going to go ahead and come in and we're going to glue our fabric to our top layer of our carrots. And then when I glue it down, I don't really necessarily glue down the edges. I just kind of glue from the sewing point on. And you can see here I'm kind of lifting up the fabric on the edges just to kind of, give it a little bit of a rustic look. And then I'll glue that to the back of the main carrot. And we'll keep going on with this project, or this part of the project. Just kind of gluing it down and picking up the edges so they kind of stand up a little bit. I kind of went along the edges and I pulled on the threads and, kind of distressed those so the little threads come up around the fabrics, that kind of thing too, just to give it our rustic look. I love this cutesy carrot set. Love it. And then we're going to come in with our teeny little mini hearts and put them onto our bunnies. That's better than a pom-pom tail, right? Gives it a little something something, I think. And now I've got some twine here. I'm just going to make a little bow for each of the bigger carrots. Put it right up under the greenery, and I'm going to add 2 little mini beads from that multi-pack set from Dollar Tree. I'm glad they came out with that set with all the different sizes. And then, of course, I'll tie a knot at the end of the beads so, the beads don't fall off. Tie a knot at the end of the twine tails there. And then we'll go ahead and glue that bow right up under the greenery. So cute. And then we're going to put our little bunny there. Now see when I lay my bunny there, how it kind of falls to the center of that carrot? I want my bunny to lay level. So I just have some black cardboard here. I'm adding 2 pieces onto the back, right behind the bunny there. And then I'm going to glue that down. So then when I lay that bunny down, it's going to lay level right across that knot and onto that carrot. Okay, that's just my preference. I want it to lay level and not dip inward. Okay, and this is what each carrot's going to look like. I'll do the rest off camera. Here, everything's all set to go. Now you can see this carrot, aren't they cute? Oh my gosh. You can see I added a little fun to my bunnies too to kind of match the carrots. I just added a twine bow and a button. And what I did on the right side is all my bows are angled to the right, and on the left side, all my bows are angled to the left. That's just preference. I'm particular about details, so I have one little bunny left, so I'm going to glue my twine bow to the left side because it's the left side of my garland here. And then I'll add my little button, of course. Perfect. And then I think that ties in with the bunnies or the carrots. And then I'm coming in with some twine from Dollar Tree. And my macrame twine here, I start out with 72 inches. And then I've got 2 extra pieces cut at 24 inches and 4 of the big beads that come out of that multi-pack from Dollar Tree. Okay, so what I do first is I take my macrame twine, I fold it directly in half, and I've got a little piece of tape here so I know where my center is. And one of my carrots is going to be the center of my garland, so I'm going to put that on first and drag it all the way down to where I've marked it. Okay, so that way I know kind of where to start. And we're going to kind of work on the right side here, and then I'll do the left side all off camera. And it's so nice that these cutesy carrots have the holes in them ready to go. It's nice that the, reuse the bunnies off that Dollar Tree sign. So those are ready to go. I don't have to punch holes or anything like that. Just running it through the twine. Now what I'm going to do is have all my elements be about 1 inch apart. Okay, so you can see I'm 1 inch apart from the big carrot to the little carrot and from the little carrot to the bunny. Okay, so that's how I'm kind of working my pieces here. You can do it however you want, of course, but I'm just, measuring that I just like that equal measurement. That's how my brain works. It's got to just be perfect. Getting everything on this right side all the way done. And when I'm done, I have about 13 inches of that macrame twine left. Okay, we'll deal with that in just a minute. Again, I'm going to do the same process as I did on the right side here, the exact same design onto the left. Now here I am. Everything is all, weeded onto my twine, I guess you could say, and I'm going to get my carrots into place. And I'm just going to glue these on. I'm not going to worry about holes. That Beacon Fabri-Tac glue is going to hold it perfectly 1 inch apart, just how I, weeded those pieces on there and placing the carrots in between and gluing them on perfectly. Again, it just holds really well with that Fabri-Tac glue. All right, getting that last little carrot on there. Now we're at the end of the twine. What I'm going to do is take it and I'm just going to fold it in half where that twine kind of touches the ears and then pull it up about 1 inch away. Nice and easy. And then I'm going to take both pieces together and tie a knot so I have a nice loop for hanging. So again, pull that twine to touches the ear and then pull it up about 1 inch
grab the two together and then make a little knot. And then when I'm done, if I put both loops together, I've got the exact same size loop. I know, it's my measuring thing. And now what I'm going to do is set that aside for a little bit. I'm going to start just adding my pieces on here. I was going to add fabric pieces, fabric strips and everything, but it was just too much. I just wanted to add a little bit for the farmhouse look, but not overtake the cuteness of the bunnies and the carrots and all that kind of stuff. So I only add 8 pieces of crocheting here. Yep, just 8, just enough. All right, so at the end, I'm going to just cut off a little bit of that excess from that loop we made. And I'm going to take that extra piece of macrame twine with about 24 inches there, and I'm just going to tie it into a bow right underneath that knot. It's going to just help kind of pretty up that end so it's not just a plain loop. And then I'm going to add 1 big bead to each tail of that twine bow. And of course, tie a knot at the end of each tail end so the bead doesn't fall off. I'll do the same thing to the other loop on the other side off camera. But once we do this, that makes this project complete. So I hope you enjoyed the projects that I came up with for you today. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know which project was your favorite. Also, let me know if you're going to be ordering some of this cute product from craftingwithkimber.com. I've got to know because I'm telling you, it's really, really cute and it's really worth it. Remember, I'll have the links to all her product listed in my description box down below. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you wandered in here for the first time, or maybe you're coming over from Emily's channel or Alicia's channel, welcome, welcome, welcome to my channel. If you're digging what you saw here today, please, before you click off, make sure you hit that red subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on another project from me. Emily and Alicia, thank you so, so much for collaborating with me today. Remember, everybody, I'll have the links to their channels in my description box, but the main thing you want to go check out is that playlist, because that's where you're going to find all of their fun crafts they have ready and waiting for you to see. Make sure you let them know I sent you. Subscribe to their channel. You will not be disappointed. Before I go, I'm going to leave you with one final thought. Fear has a tendency to hold us back from enjoying all that God has for us. Fear keeps us from taking that step forward. Fear keeps us from taking a deep breath and facing what lies ahead. Horrible news, death of a loved one, life-changing test results, any of these can lead us to want to lay down and not face the future. It takes away our very reason for living in the moment. Try not to take in the whole picture and face it all in one moment on your own. Try lifting your head, release your fears, and whisper the name of Jesus, taking it one step at a time. Taking each step, not focusing on the next step, but keeping your focus on Jesus and on this step, allows your heart and thoughts to willingly move forward and take care of this challenge before trying to continue on in the next leg of the race. God will prepare you for each leg of the race. Try not to move forward ahead of Him. Try not to take things on by yourself and get to the finish line without Him on your own. Getting there by yourself doesn't always lead to victory. It can put the plans God has for you into disarray and cause confusion. It can allow the enemy to try and divert your attention to other things than what God's victory has in store for you, and even bring that fear back to your heart and mind once again. Trust that God will lead you down the right path that He has designed for you. You will get to the finish line by listening to God's guidance and completing each leg of the race one step at a time. Trust in what God has for you. He knows exactly what needs to be done and what time it needs to be done to restore things that may look hopeless. Through it all, He will restore the joy in your heart. He will restore the joy in your soul, and He will lead you to victory and healing without all the fear that the enemy is trying to offer you. You have to trust in that. You have to know that, and you have to remember that. I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.